Well, I've been busy with other things, but the boiler's not working again since the last video. I restarted it. I don't know how long it'll run for. As you can see, it's on, so it's about to start. The pressure's right. The light's on, so it's on. See how long it takes. I'm going to take some photographs of these missing rubbers and the frames. It's all the way up there. All the way up. I'm supposed to clean this up, am I? Won't make any difference. It'll be back in a few days. And you'll see all the stains where it's damp underneath. There's the hole. Now you can see the water coming down. We've got window ledges where the water runs in because of the lack of the rubbers around the seals. It stinks in this room and I'm asthmatic, and they expect me to clean it up for them before they send the painters to do another bodge job. As you can see, the rubbers were missing off this one as well, and I've put these on here. Okay. I've had to put them on, but they're not professional ones. And the gang stalkers. This is how close the neighbours are who are gang stalking me. They just live there on the corner. Also, there's another neighbour who lives just there, who used to come through to Sunderland. That's her house just there, with the conservatory on. Alison, she's a solicitor, her husband Don. They've been gang stalking me since before I moved in here. 7 years ago, they used to go into the building that was adjacent to 25C Road, Fulwell, Sunderland. I saw them sitting in there. They used to go upstairs. They had a couch upstairs where the gang stalkers used to meet. They were gang stalking me on one side, and then the Surtees family and the Rankin family, they were gang stalking me on the other side. I got the police involved, but the police didn't do anything about it. It was at the time when I was reporting the politicians, Tony Blair, Darling, Miliband brothers, Brown, Milburn. I'd reported them all for abusing children at Fulwell Infant School. New Scotland Yard covered it all up. It's all in the newspapers yesterday. So they arranged for me to be brought here, so it'll be easy for me to be gang stalked by them, because they live on the corner of Fernwood Road and they live next door, in number 81 and number 82. There's another gang stalker there, Sylvester. This is his place just there. His family are solicitors from Middlesbrough, working for the Blairs, who are reported for abusing children and the theft of my daughter Catherine. So as you can imagine, nobody's coming out to do the dampness, and they make the dampness worse by drilling in the roof. All the water gushing in, flooding above the ceiling, and also worse because they won't put the professional rubber seals around the window that I've pointed out for years to the same people. The central heating boiler, now it's stopped again. That's more proof there. So this is the second film of the central heating boiler not working. Continuous film, not stopping and starting. The motor's going, wasting electricity. The heating's not working, it's stopped. That's what the flashing red light is. And the plumber just tells me, well, why don't you just press the button? So yes, I press the button, but what about if I want to go out and come back to a nice warm house and it just switches itself off after a few minutes? What about if I want to go to bed and leave the heating on because it's freezing cold and it switches itself off while I'm asleep? So it's starting again, and I'll probably shut down again in 5 minutes. But if I was to get in touch with the plumber and he comes out, he might say, like he said before, well, I haven't got time to wait. But like within 10 minutes it had shown him that the boiler wasn't working. He repaired it, but the following day it had the same symptoms but not as much. And he didn't come back to continue repairing it. So now he wants £60 from me, which is never in the past have they charged for the boiler repair, and it's been an ongoing boiler repair for 5 years. And it's all Emma Jackson and Avram, who were the ones involved in the gang stalking with the Sylvesters, with Rob Russell, works at the Nuffield Hospital, friend of Dr. Rutherford, who stole my daughter Penny Rutherford, and abuses his own children, according to Pablo and Maria Gomez, who were also abused by Tony Blair, Alistair Darling, Chris Mullen, David Ned, with Miliband, whilst they were visiting the school. Gordon Brown, Alan Milburn, Darling foolishly sending his son to Fulwell Infant School. James Darling, who was at the school at the same time as my grandchildren, Pablo and Maria Gomez Hafferty, who was stolen from my son, who was then deported out of his wife, and 2 children were deported from the country, sent back to Colombia. His mother used to work for Stan Henry, who did the Angus Sibbett murder, better known as the one-armed bandit murder, and also the Eileen McDougall murder, better known as the torso in the tank murder, which Jill Dando was investigating, and that's why Ian Henry arranged for the murder of Jill Dando. Ian Henry, Stan Henry's son, who claims to work for the CIA and the MI5. Also involved in the murder of Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed. He was the one seen in the white van, sitting on a motorbike strapped in the back of the white van, shining the headlight into Henri Paul's eyes. This was reported to the police, who didn't follow up the investigations because they like to cover it all up at New Scotland Yard, as we are reading in the newspapers about New Scotland Yard covering up serious pedophile crimes and murders by politicians. Stan Henry also murdered via Nurse June Hafferty, Nurse Brenda Boyers, who told Jill Dando about my daughter Catherine Blair and took a blood sample from me whilst in Australia, gave it to Jill Dando while she was in Australia, confirming that I am the real father of Catherine Blair. And these Sylvesters, who are solicitors from Middlesbrough, sending their son to live next door to me when this apartment became available.